Hello, guys. As I mentioned to you guys, I am stranded waiting for a flight, and by the time you guys get to meet, I will be flying. So here is the recording of my presentation. An important part of the dual mandate is maximum sustained employment, and by using proper tools, we could get a clear vision of the economy's current situation. Slide 4. Despite the unemployment rate U3 being relatively low, the broader unemployment rate U6 highlights ongoing challenges. The U6 rate includes those who are marginally attached to the labor force and those working part time but seeking full time work, which often suggests economic dissatisfaction. The persistently higher U6 rate suggests that while the labor market appears tight based on traditional metrics like U3, a significant segment of the workforce is still underutilized. Many workers are not in their preferred employment situation, which may affect their inability to find suitable full time position or higher quality jobs. This disparity can signal underlying structural issues such as mismatched skills, regional disparities, and job availability, or continued economic pressures forcing workers to accept part time or temporary roles. Slide 5. While the labor force participation has rebounded since the pandemic, long-term trends such as the aging population presents risks to sustain economic growth and productivity. As seen on this graph, the economy lost 4.5% of the total LFPR within the last 24 years. First, this is uniquely important because with a lower LFPR, businesses will have fewer people to fill open positions. Next to the LFPR graph is the total non-farm jobs opening graph. Slide 6. As we can see through the um, job opening graph, job openings have receded 30% in the last 2.5 years. The U.S. economy sits well above pre. Uh, Take a step back. As we could see, though job openings have receded 30% in the last 2.5 years, the U.S. economy still sits well above pre-pandemic levels. If trend continues, it can lead to wage increases, which can cause a detrimental effect in the economy. Second, as the Congressional Budget Office stated, a lower LFPR can reduce GDP and tax revenues while increasing federal outlays, expenditure, and especially increased benefits such as Social Security and unemployment insurance. Slide 7. The weekly insured unemployment claims is another tool that we use to show an inverse relation to the LFPR and proves the trend true. As the graph shows, we're back to pre pandemic levels. Slide 8. Now, to further explore the economy in detail, an analysis into employment by race was made. As seen on this graph, all groups experienced a sharp increase in unemployment rates in 2020 due to the pandemic. The spike was particularly pronounced for Hispanic and Latino workers, reflecting their higher concentration in industries severely impacted by lockdowns such as hospitality and construction. Despite the apparent recovery, disparities in unemployment persists, with the black unemployment rate above both of Hispanics and white workers. This highlights continued inequities in the job markets and uneven distribution of economic opportunities. Slide 9. The historically strong inverse relationship between unemployment and inflation, as illustrated by the Phillips curve, has weakened, with inflation falling while unemployment remains low. This could suggest structural changes to the labor market, such as greater productivity and technological progress. If businesses are becoming more efficient, they can produce more with the same number of employees, leading to economic growth and stable employment without triggering inflation. Now, I will pass on to my colleague, Dominic.